Hello and welcome back to the Big Pop Podcast. I'm your host, Sully, aka Kayfabe Crimes, and I'm joined by the ever lovely Nav. Today, we will be talking about the passing of what some would call a legend. Some would definitely do that. One Hulk Terry Bollea, eat your vitamins, Hogan.
Yes. Some
So,
some would do that. I don't know if we're gonna do
some
that.
would. So Hogan passed away about a week ago, as of us recording this, of a massive cardiac arrest, as it was reported in the news. 71 years old. I believe he was having health concerns in about the month leading up to his passing. I know there were conflicting reports on that. So, and obviously, it's we don't actually know what the truth is until it actually comes out about, his health conditions and stuff like that. I'm sure they're doing an autopsy and whatnot. But since his passing, he has been the talk of the wrestling world. He broke the internet one more time, it seemed.
Yeah.
Now, what are your feelings on the Hulkster?
So I have never been like a big Hulk Hogan fan in the
Mm,
first place, like character wise.
yeah,
Not touching on the man yet, but just even as a
yet.
performer, as a character, I've never been a Hulkamaniac.
Okay.
I could appreciate that he like drew such a crowd and such an
hmm
audience, connection and everything as a performer. But yeah, I've never really cared for him. I mean, I was
mm
a little after his time, so maybe that's
Yeah.
partially why. Um, but yeah, so he did his thing. Like by the time I was seeing him, he was just doing greatest hits, so
Yeah.
it wasn't anything special. But I get why people do celebrate him. I get why people do acknowledge his accomplishments as a
hmm
performer. Uh, I don't think those accomplishments and those, uh, his persona supersede the the person and the vitriol he's spewed, the hate he's promoted. I think none of those things are. I don't think him drawing 92,000 people at WrestleMania 3 is more important than him dropping the N word multiple
mm
times, or him supporting Donald Trump in, the
Yeah.
most recent US presidential election. Uh, so, and I find that weird where people are very quick to just be like, yeah, he did say some bad things, but we can acknowledge his, what he did for the wrestling business. And to me, it's like, I don't care about the wrestling business that much
Yeah.
that I would like actively champion
hmm
a self-admitted racist.
Yeah.
Let's make that
Literally.
clear. Self-admitted. He said it. I am racist to a point, followed by some explicitives, including the N-word.
Yeah, I was a bit of a stupid kid. So he was doing the like Mr. America thing
Yeah,
or whatever. I think as a child, I was like, holy shit, it's Hulk Hogan
right,
when they did the unmasking thing. So I was stupid, but I remember that being me. Oh my God, I like Hulk Hogan because he was in a mask and no one knew it was him.
right.
Very quickly after that, like I think the Michaels match came after that. I'm like, Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit. And then the TNA stuff. TNA's was quite big here in the UK because it was on
Okay,
free television.
gotcha.
So like we all like watched TNA and we're like, Hulk Hogan has ruined this company. Uh, but everything you've said is correct. Like he might have been the reason WWE became mainstream. I don't subscribe to that belief.
Sure, same.
But people say it. That doesn't undo the fact he was just a son of a gun piece of shit.
Yeah,
Like just horrible, disgusting racist. Never apologized for his race. And people change. That man never changed. He literally apologized for getting caught and then told wrestlers, Listen, brother, you got to be careful about what you're saying, brother. There's cameras everywhere. I'm like, I don't think that's the lesson you should have learned from that, Terry.
Right.
You know, his cheated on his wife multiple times is the reason wrestlers aren't employees. Like, stopped
Hmm.
the wrestlers unionizing,
Yeah.
sunk WCW basically single-handedly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's dead. He can't sue me. But yeah,
Well, he
like
also helped to stop that company. Like he basically buried a company because of the lawsuit that he had
yeah,
against them for,
Gorka
yeah.
shut down because they lost so much money because he was like, "I'm not Hulk Hogan, brother. I'm Terry Bollea,"
Yeah.
which is the funniest defense, to be honest. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
Um,
fascinating when wrestlers do that. When it's convenient,
yeah,
they make the distinction,
yeah,
but all other times they're like, I'm the character I've been
yeah,
playing.
exactly. And there's so many other things like the Trump stuff. I didn't even get to the Trump stuff.
Yeah.
His beer apparently tasted like horrible. I don't drink, so I don't
It's me
know.
neither. So
So,
something I had only heard recently
mm,
because of like all the conversation about his
yeah.
passing was a call that he had with his son while his son was in jail. Um, and like, because his son got into a car accident, he caused the
Mm,
car accident. Or his son was in jail, so he's having a call with him.
mm.
Dude, this is the most. I just he basically said that he hopes that they aren't reincarnated as black men.
Yes, yes, I heard
What
that.
level of derangement do you have to even think that? Like, why does that come to your mind at all?
Yeah, what isn't he like super? I don't know if he's Catholic. He's super Christian. You
Yeah.
don't believe in that anyway, Hulkster. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was just crazy. I was like, you have to be like people are like, oh yeah, he was kind of racist. I'm like, no, you have to be a certain level of racist to have that thought. That you're so terrified that in the afterlife you will be you will like it's so disturbing how much like the level of his and that's all only the stuff we know.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
only what's been recorded and that he's uttered on like tape. Who knows what he's said and done in the privacy of his own home?
I'm pretty. I will not be surprised if now that he's gone, in a couple years, there's gonna be wrestlers from his time coming out and being like, he was a right piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like he was X, Y, and actually, just slightly tangentially, something that really annoyed me was Kevin Nash made
Yeah.
a thing is like, why are black wrestlers coming out and
Oh God.
being so kind about him after they tore him down all those years for being racist? I'm like, you son of a bitch, you did the exact same thing. You tore down Hogan every chance you had. And now, because these black wrestlers are maybe they're just feeling the heat, like, okay, I guess he's dead. I don't want people coming for me because I was always talking down about him,
Right.
rightfully so as well. But just have Kevin Nash, you piece of shit. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But that was just something I just remembered when we were talking about that, and it really annoyed me.
Yeah, yeah. I remember him putting out another statement about it and like, look, he has his own feelings about I don't care like
Yeah.
I don't actually care if people celebrate the like
Yeah.
his life. That's like your personal opinion,
Hmm.
whatever. I just find it weird again that people are so quick to put what he did for wrestling above
Hmm.
the racism.
Yeah.
I just I don't want to say I don't understand it because I get
Yeah.
the society we live in. I think it frustrates me because it highlights how much how how unserious people are about racism,
Mm.
right? Again, like they
Yes.
minimize it to just saying some slurs or like maybe just whatever, not associating with a group of people. But it's like it's violence. It's so
Mm.
like it's such insidious violence, which
Yeah.
is that racism is, and people just don't acknowledge it as such. And I think that is what just drives me up a wall is that like, oh, look what he did for wrestling. And my friend had a great response when people say,
Hmm.
look what he did for wrestling. Imagine what he could have done if he
Mm.
wasn't putting himself over constantly.
Like. Yeah, literally, if you think of it just from a wrestling perspective, you take out him being just scum of the earth
Sure.
from it. Like if you'd put over the likes of Benoit, if you okay, actually that was a terrible example. But you know what I mean. In WCW, he didn't
Yeah.
want to put Benoit over.
Yeah.
He had to be dragged kicking and screaming to put Goldberg over.
Yeah.
Again, a terrible example. He's a piece of shit as well.
He didn't
But
apparently he didn't want to put Booker over.
no,
So like they had the whole like I forgot what pay-per-view it was now, but like he lays down for Jarrett or something like that.
yeah,
You know, like because there
yeah.
was all this back and forth about how to end it. They wanted to, so I think,
Mm.
was it not Bischoff, the other whatever. Uh,
Vince Russo.
yeah, he wanted
Hulk
Booker T
Hogan,
to
you piece of shit.
he wanted Booker T to end the night as champion, and like
Uh,
Hogan apparently didn't want to lie down for him, so they did
yeah,
this whole thing with Jarrett taking and all this stuff, and it's just
yeah,
like, dude, if Booker pinned Hogan,
yeah.
huge.
And then even like I hate the Undertaker as well, but he didn't want to put the Undertaker over at WrestleMania. I think he beat Hogan at Mania or one of the pay-per-views early on in his career for the title,
Right.
and like right away it's like, oh my neck, brother. It's like you feigned almost dying because you didn't want to put this kid over. Like,
Yeah. I mean, obviously Sean didn't need it at the time in 2005, but still
yeah,
like
yeah,
the story there, the feud between those two was super compelling.
yeah,
But then Hogan doesn't want to do the job, and
yeah.
so and apparently it was supposed to be like a three-match
It's meant
series,
to be a three-match
and then it
series.
got brought down to a one-match series where Hogan
Yeah.
ultimately goes over. And it's like, what are you doing?
And then even just like beyond even just that aspect of it, like lying down, like having as much power as he did in each of the companies, being able to sh shape the careers of other wrestlers
Yeah.
simply for being like, and then like WCW, he was like, yeah, brother, give big paychecks to all of my friends. I
Right.
know your company is bleeding money, but brother, I've got these clauses in my contract. Like,
Yeah. And then I only know about this from watching reviews of like
mm,
his time in TNA, but
yeah.
apparently this man was not promoting TNA at all.
No, I remember because he came in, they moved it to a Monday
Hmm.
for some reason to compete with the same time as Raw,
Yep.
and he was like, he didn't mention because he was doing movies still at that point, I think,
Right.
and he had his reality TV show, like Keeping Up with the Hogans or whatever. Um, and he just wouldn't talk about TNA. And it was like they put all of their money into him. They changed it from a six-sided ring to a four-sided ring. Obviously, that was better for the wrestlers because it hurts way less bumping on a
Sure.
four-sided ring. But it was just like, oh, he doesn't care. He's
Yeah.
come here for the massive paycheck TNA threw his way. And the company's become a feeder for WWE.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And that's again, that's just what he could have done for
mm,
wrestling.
yeah,
That's just again, we did what a lot of people are doing. We put aside his actual real
yeah,
life awfulness, but we're just highlighting the awfulness of him in the business. And that itself is, and we're not even done.
yeah.
We're not going to continue because there's no need to, but like these are like the big things that he could have done for the business and for other wrestlers, but always had to put himself over first.
He could have like made wrestling could be so much bigger than it is now
Yeah.
because of Hulk Hogan. Maybe it's as big as it is right now because of him. Again, I don't subscribe to that belief.
Yeah, I don't think
It
so.
don't get me started on who I think it actually is. Uh,
We can
but
do a separate episode on that because I'm
yeah,
curious.
yeah. But imagine if he actually wasn't a horrible human being and actually was a like a half decent guy. Wrestling could be bigger than Marvel. That's my hot take.
Yeah, I see that. Before we hopped on, you were touching upon something specific when it comes to the conversation around Hogan and like other people's uh kind of, I guess, rebuttals or counters to the idea of like the
Mhm.
like the negativity towards him.
Yeah, I think obviously people are like, well, you can't, his legacy is, you can't undermine that because of you his actions. And it, it does undermine his actions. Any other person you talk about, it undermines their actions in history or something. It either undermines their actions or you have to caveat what you're saying in
Right.
line with that. Or if you really want to, you need to find a way of like explaining it away properly. And you just can't do that with Hulk Hogan. Because, like, yeah, he drew massive crowds for WCW. Who was the third man, brother? And it's like, he's the third man, brother, after Hogan, after Nash and Hall begged him. And they had Sting ready at the back to go in case he ran away. Uh,
Oh, that's another
yeah,
one, wrestling
yeah,
wise. He
yeah,
didn't put Sting over, right, at Starrcade.
yeah, yeah. He wouldn't put Sting over. And it
Yeah,
was like,
after like a year and a half build
God,
of, but yeah, anyway, back to your point.
L- yeah, you can look. You know what? You can acknowledge his legacy. You can
Sure.
say he will forever go down in the annals as like Mr. WWE
Right.
for a good chunk of his career.
Mr.
But
Wrestling even, like,
yeah, he will be a face of wrestling. He's undeniably a face of wrestling.
yes.
But that doesn't change the fact his legacy will forever be tainted by the fact he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he's in hell right now saying, "Oh, brother, it's so hot, brother." Us,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I absolutely agree, especially because everything you said about we, I mean, I'm sure people do it for others as well, but in general, people are way more critical of others,
Hmm.
and like you can bring up other examples of people, and I saw someone like whenever Bill Cosby goes, I'm not gonna celebrate that dude.
Yeah.
Like I watched the Cosby Show when I was young, and it was a great show. But I'm not gonna be like, oh well, all those great memories of Bill Cosby. No, I'm gonna think about the actual terrible harm he caused,
Yeah.
and that's how he's gonna be remembered. And Hogan did that himself. That's the other thing. When you live as long as he did, you have so much time to course
Mm.
correct. You have
Yeah.
so much time to do something different, to make amends, to change, and a half-hearted apology is not the way to go about it.
All you had to do, sit on a podcast with Booker T and say, "Listen, brother, I'm sorry I was racist." And he didn't even have to be genuine about that. He could have
Yeah.
just lied through his teeth, and that at least would have been better than his actual legacy.
Yeah, I mean, he did give an apology, but if you
Yeah.
watch it, it is what it is. But also, by supporting Donald Trump, you negate that
Yeah.
apology because Donald Trump is a white nationalist. Donald Trump
Yeah.
is a racist. Donald Trump is a bigot.
Mm.
If you support a bigot, you yourself are then
Yeah.
aligning with bigoted values. I don't care if
100%.
you say I'm not a racist or I'm not misogynistic. If you support someone who is, you therefore then agree with them just by proxy.
Too right.
And he did it so enthusiastically. He ripped off his shirt. It's not like he was just like
Uh,
standing there like Zuckerberg, even though again they're consenting to supporting him as well, but
mm.
like they're just all those billionaires are standing there during his inauguration.
Yeah.
This is Hogan going wild in support of
Yeah.
him.
I wish he would, Stone Cold got it right. I'm not gonna say anything. Maybe Stone Cold's a hardcore conservative. I don't know. He doesn't seem like it, but maybe he is. He's I'm going down to Broken Skull Ranch. I got these two good cats. What?
Yeah,
Perfect.
I
Perfect.
mean that's the thing. You can just say, you know, showing respect to his family, I think is fine.
Yeah.
You know, um, but I think there's definitely a line of not celebrating this man because like you wouldn't do the same with other awful people.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people would. We live in a very disturbed world right now. Um, but generally speaking, I don't think it would be normal for people to be celebrating someone with Hogan's legacy,
Mm.
his personal legacy, and without the rest. Like if he didn't have the wrestling legacy, we'd be like, "Oh,
Mm.
that's a trash person." Well,
Yeah.
because he did all the stuff he did for the business, apparently it's okay and doesn't sit well with me.
You've got way better wrestlers you can like be
I know.
celebrating who have passed.
Dude,
Like,
everybody knows my feelings. Anybody that's listened to this podcast knows my feelings about John Cena.
yeah.
But all in all, dude seems like an actual decent human
Yeah.
being. Bit of a
Yeah.
weirdo, but a decent
Strange
human
man.
being.
Very obsessed with Vince McMahon. But
Yeah, there is that part. So that's not great.
I would put Hogan on the same place as Vince. Vince is going to the same part of hell with Hogan
Oh yeah.
when he goes, and it's going to be the same thing in I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week. I don't know. When when Vince goes, we'll be having the same conversation
Yeah.
about, and maybe they have more ammunition with it because I think he genuinely is the reason wrestling's where it is. But
Sure.
he's a human trafficker. Come on, man.
But that's the thing is like I was thinking about this and obviously everybody's opinion is gonna be different. I would rather wrestling never grew to the size it
Hmm.
did if that meant we didn't have
Yep.
someone like Vince McMahon
100%.
behaving the
Hold.
way he did. I'm not saying, like I would rather take wrestling be just a local, like territory thing or just like bingo halls and high
Yeah.
school gyms if it meant that we don't have horrible people like Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, and so many others.
100%. 100% agree.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments down below how much you hate Hulk Hogan. Who do you think he is wrestling in hell? I think he's having a Hell in a Cell match with Chris Benoit right now.
God.
Uh,
Oh man.
special guest referee May Young. Is it May
Jeez.
Young? Not May Young.
Fabulous Moolah.
Fabulous Moolah. May Young, she was lovely.
Yeah.
Um,
Jeez.
you
That
can
one's
find us
rough.
on the TikTok and the Instagram at the Big Pop Pod. You can find us here at the Big Pop Podcast. Where can the people find you, Nav?
Nav the Poet, NAV the Poet on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And you?
And you can find me at Kayfabe Crimes. That's crimes with a K. Thank you guys for watching. Do say your prayers, do eat your vitamins, and fuck Hulk Hogan.
I was gonna say Iron Sheik said it best.
Baby.